Hey Lyle, I have an idea for a regular feature of our JavaScript Everywhere meetup. It would be called JavaScript Corner. It would be a 5 to 10 minute teaching of some aspect of JavaScript, so every month we could learn a little something interesting. So my idea would be to have something prepared every month, but hopefully after we do it a few times a group would get involved and people would come with something they'd like to present. Here's a possible example. Hey everyone, welcome to JavaScript Corner, and this month I'd like to talk about functional programming. And what I'm going to do is show you a little thing that I saw someone do with the replace method of a string and how they used functions in a very interesting way. So let's start out, create a string. So here's my string 1, 2, and I'm going to use %s as my target that I want to replace. 3, 4, and we have s again, 5, 6, and s again. Okay, so there's our string. Take a look at it, bam. Now, let's create a new string. So we're going to take our first string, use our handy dandy replace command. So replace wants our target, so we'll use a regular expression here to find all of the %s's and replace it with, how about, pick up sticks. So there we go, there's our new string. 1, 2 pick up sticks, 3, 4 pick up sticks. You get the idea. Now we can do the replace command again, but in place of a literal string here, we could use a function. And the function, of course, should return a string. So let's just do that. Return, how about tie your shoe? Okay? So there's our new string. 1, 2 tie your shoe. 3, 4 tie your shoe. Not exactly what I'm looking for, but now that we see that we can use a function in replace of our literal string, let's use that knowledge to do something a little more interesting. So I'm going to write a new function here called cool replace. It's going to take 2 parameters. Well, at least 2. Actually, when we use it, we're going to pass in as many parameters as we'd like. So the original text and our target. Okay, so here's a cool replace function. What I want to do is when I pass in the text and the target in the first 2 parameters, then I'd like to use parameters 3, 4, and on to replace each time I find the target, replace it with parameter 3, and then parameter 4, and then parameter 5. So here's how we can do that. Let's define a variable I. We'll set that to 2, and that will be a pointer into our arguments array that is passed into every function. And let's get the length of that. Okay, we got that. Now, our function should return a string. So we're going to use our text parameter, and we're going to call the replace command. That's what we're going to return. So the replace command, we have to pass in our regex target, and second parameter, seeing that we can use a function, so let's use that function. So our function has to return something, and I want to put a little bit of a conditional here. So let's use the ternary operator. If it's true, return that, and else return something else. Okay, so what's our conditional? As long as I is less than length, let's return our argument sub I. Otherwise, when we're done, we just return nothing. Now, before this function returns, we want to increment I. So there you go. Now, let's look at our new string. and it's 1, 2, tie your shoe, 3, 4, tie your shoe. Now let's redefine it using our cool replace. So cool replace, got to pass in our original text, our target, same as before, but now we can pass in more parameters. 1, 2, tie your shoe. 3, 4, shut the door. And 5, 6, anyone? Bueller, pick up sticks. So, bam, there you go. 1, 2, tie your shoe. 3, 4, shut the door. 5, 6, pick up sticks. So that is a little interesting thing about functional programming. Anytime you want something dynamic, think of using functions. So that's JavaScript Corner for this month, and I'll see you next month. And if you have something interesting you'd like to show, bring it to the meeting.